Imagine a world without apples, almonds, or coffee. It's hard to picture, isn't it? These delicious foods, along with many others, depend on tiny creatures called pollinators. Pollinators are animals that move pollen from one flower to another, helping plants to reproduce. Without pollinators, our diets would be much less interesting and far less healthy. Fruits, vegetables, and many nuts rely on these busy workers to thrive. In fact, pollinators are responsible for 1 out of every 3 bites of food we eat. But their importance goes beyond our plates. Pollinators support entire ecosystems by helping plants to produce seeds, which provide food and shelter for other animals. They are truly the unsung heroes of the natural world. When we think of pollinators, bees often come to mind first. And it's true, bees are some of the busiest pollinators around, but they're not the only ones. The world of pollinators is incredibly diverse, including a fascinating array of creatures. Butterflies, with their delicate wings and fluttering flight, are important pollinators, especially for brightly colored flowers. Moths, often overlooked, play a crucial role in pollinating night-blooming plants. Birds, like hummingbirds, are attracted to sugary nectar and transfer pollen on their beaks and feathers. Bats, often misunderstood, are vital pollinators for plants in tropical regions. Even some beetles, flies, and wasps contribute to pollination. Each pollinator, with its unique characteristics and preferences, plays a vital role in maintaining the balance of our ecosystems. Pollination is a fascinating process, a delicate dance between plants and animals. It all begins with the flower, which produces a powdery substance called pollen. This pollen contains the male genetic material needed for plant reproduction. When a pollinator visits a flower in search of nectar or pollen, some of the pollen sticks to its body. As the pollinator moves to another flower of the same species, it unknowingly carries the pollen along. If the pollen lands on the female part of the new flower, fertilization can occur. This leads to the development of seeds and eventually new plants. It's a remarkable cycle, a testament to the interconnectedness of life on Earth. The decline of pollinators is a serious threat to our planet and our future. As pollinator populations dwindle, so too does the ability of plants to reproduce. This has far-reaching consequences for ecosystems and for human societies. Without pollinators, we face a future with less food diversity, higher food prices, and potential shortages of essential crops. The economic impact would be staggering, affecting farmers, food producers, and consumers alike. But the consequences go beyond economics. The loss of pollinators disrupts the delicate balance of ecosystems, impacting plant communities and the animals that depend on them. It's a stark reminder that we are all interconnected, and the fate of pollinators is intertwined with our own. Section 5. The Vanishing Act. Threats to our pollinators. Pollinators around the world are facing a growing number of threats, many of which are driven by human activities. Understanding these threats is the first step towards protecting these essential creatures. One of the biggest threats is habitat loss. As we convert land for agriculture, urban development, and other uses, we destroy the nesting sites and food sources that pollinators rely on. Pesticides, while intended to control pests, can have unintended and often devastating consequences for pollinators. Exposure to pesticides can weaken, disorient, or even kill pollinators. Climate change also poses a significant threat, altering flowering times, increasing the frequency of extreme weather events, and disrupting the delicate balance of ecosystems. Section 6. Creating a buzz: how you can help. The good news is that we can all play a role in protecting pollinators. Even small actions can make a big difference when taken collectively. Here are some ways you can help. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to help is to plant pollinator-friendly flowers in your garden, on your balcony, or in community spaces. Choose a variety of native plants that bloom at different times of the year to provide a steady source of nectar and pollen. Providing shelter is crucial as well. Consider building or buying bee hotels, butterfly houses, or bat boxes to offer safe havens for these creatures to nest and raise their young. Reduce your impact by choosing organic options whenever possible, supporting sustainable farming practices, and advocating for policies that protect pollinators and their habitats. Section 7. Plant power. Choosing the right plants for pollinators. When selecting plants for your pollinator garden, it's essential to choose wisely. Native plants are always the best choice, as they have co-evolved with local pollinators and provide the most suitable sources of food and shelter. Opt for a diversity of flower shapes, colors, and bloom times to attract a wider range of pollinators. Single-petal flowers are generally easier for pollinators to access than double-petal varieties. Some pollinator favorites include sunflowers, lavender, coneflowers, and bee balm. Research which plants are native to your region and best suited for attracting the pollinators in your area. Section 8. Providing shelter. Creating habitats for pollinators. Creating safe and inviting habitats is crucial for pollinator survival. In addition to planting food sources, consider providing shelter for nesting and overwintering. Bee hotels, made from bundles of hollow stems or drilled blocks of wood, provide nesting sites for solitary bees. Place them in a sunny spot facing south or southeast. Butterfly houses with their narrow slits offer a safe haven for butterflies to roost at night or seek shelter from bad weather. Hang them in a sheltered spot out of direct sunlight. Bat houses, mounted high on a pole or building, provide a safe roosting place for bats. Bats are important pollinators of night-blooming plants and also help control insect populations. Section 9. Chemical concerns. Reducing pesticide use. Pesticides can have devastating effects on pollinators even in small amounts. Reducing or eliminating pesticide use in your garden is one of the most significant steps you can take to protect pollinators. Opt for natural pest control methods, such as companion planting, introducing beneficial insects, and using organic pest control products. A healthy garden, with a diversity of plants and natural predators, is often the best defense against pests. If you must use pesticides, choose those that are least toxic to pollinators and apply them at times when pollinators are less active, such as early morning or late evening. Always follow label instructions carefully. Section 10. Spreading the word. Becoming a pollinator champion. Protecting pollinators is a collective effort, and we can all make a difference by spreading awareness and inspiring others to take action. Share your knowledge about pollinators with friends, family, and neighbors. Encourage them to plant pollinator-friendly gardens, reduce pesticide use, and support organizations working to protect these essential creatures. Support local farmers markets and businesses that prioritize sustainable practices and pollinator-friendly products. Advocate for policies that protect pollinators and their habitats at the local, regional, and national levels. By working together, we can create a brighter future for pollinators and ensure the health and well-being of our planet for generations to come. Every action, no matter how small, can make a difference.